Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round one of tier 2 here on SKG Season 16. We are here in Australia for the third race of our week schedule. And like I just said, we are here for tier 2. We have a grid of 16 drivers. I believe we are expecting a few more guys to join. Was a bit of a chaotic start with lobby hosts, but it is me, the person that was commentating on Thursday evening for you for tier 4. I'm back, and I'll be back again later alongside GB Sanson in the commentary box. And that will be for tier 1, but for now we have to focus on tier 2, and that is right now. Right, okay. 18 drivers in, so a few people have managed to join. Who am I missing? I think I've sent invites out to many people. Right. Let's get on with this, shall we? First man to start a lap in the session is going to be Sway, the Dutchman in the McLaren, as he goes a bit wide coming out of turn 1 there, and he does invalidate. Behind him, I believe it is Risbo, last season's winner. I think I might add that. I think he wants me to add that he did win here last season in the Williams. So can he do back-to-back? We'll have to wait and see from the... oh, fuck. It's either Serbian. Is it Serbia? Someone correct. Someone let me know if I'm right with Serbia. As he spins and nearly does a George Russell there, pushing too hard on his lap, and Rismo off, and having to let a few cars through. So yeah, a bit too committed for the Williams. Thankfully, no damage on his car, and he can continue round. As who have we got? I believe the man with the very long name of Lando Norris 2025 WDC is actually Lufu, so we'll just refer to him as Lufu for now, as he's, I believe, on a lap. He's got an Aston Martin just ahead of him as his light is flashing, so he's out of ERS, and he does a 15.3 as a provisional pole time, and I believe that does already beat, well, that matches what tier 4's pole time was. So on the first lap of the session, 15.3, fantastic lap from the Alpine behind Burb. I believe it's Burb. In the Red Bull goes on to 16.0 along with George Pados in the Kick Sauber. As Elite Bleeder, Lufu's teammate, comes over the line, does a 15.2, beats him by just over a tenth. The Haas have got spooked. I absolutely love that name. Goes into P4, just eclipsed by TMS Nico in the pink racing balls. I'll say I absolutely despise that livery. I think it looks hideous. The Ferrari of Mukab goes to P5 for now on a 15.8. So a little bit of a tenth or so gaps from these guys, as Kevin goes into P6 on a 15.9, just ahead of Burb. Who else can we have a look at as they're finishing up their lap? Shadow is on an out lap. Manuel Tawia just done a 27.8, but lap was invalid. Mr. JSR Wash in Sauber is on a lap, so we'll follow him as he completes it out. Any predictions of what the pole time is going to be for tonight? Well, we're already on a 15.2 and it's only the first laps of the session. As, he goes a little bit deep there into turn 11, so really going to compromise his run through this next section. As through the penultimate corner he goes. Does go over the curb a little bit too much there, so would have compromised him. As he's around the final corner now, we'll see what the time does for him. Over the line, and slots into last position out of the people that have currently set a time on a 16.3. So still a few tenths to find there for the Kick Sauber, I believe. As Shadow taking a bit of a interesting line going through turn 10. Will the Haas be pitting here? Yes, he does. We have Botti on a lap in the other pink V-car, as he also goes a bit deep there, runs over the curb, does go all four wheels off the track, I believe that was, so thankfully didn't invalidate. It did say he did do a purple middle sector. Whether or not the game is lying, we will have to wait and see. Reggie predicting the pole time of a 14.8. So let's see if he's correct, as he goes up to P2. Lovely lap from the kick. I was going to say Kick Sauber, from the V-carb. Just goes in behind Elite Bleeder, who, that's a scorching lap for someone who I don't even think is supposed to be in this tier. So Elite Bleeder, yeah, he's a bit fast. Sway has invalidated, so we'll watch Shadow. Botti washed. If he's washed and he's in P2, we might be cooked. On board with the Mercedes for now, as he's through the final sector. Locks inside front, but he does navigate turn 11 very nicely, so a little bit of a lift off going around turn 12. It's turn 13. And I think that's a Red Bull just ahead of him. Oh, he does have a bit of a slide, so maybe the dirty air affecting him there. He had up to the line. He comes, only does a 16.6, so last of the people have set a time by over 3 tenths. Well, about 3 tenths. So as the Williams, who, as we saw, went off at that very corner, is on an out lap. So Risbo looking to put a time on the board, as someone has just moved up. Who would that have been? Is that Yao? I think that might have been Yao. So Yao goes into P6 on a 15.6. A few cars on out laps now, as there's a Haas and a V-car racing for track position. As Risbo has invalidated on his outlap, so he's washed. Who can we keep an eye on? Washed on an outlap. George Pados is about 2.5 tenths up on his current best of 16.0, so this will put him into the 15s if he does finish out the lap. Through turn 11 he goes. A few drivers running a bit wide there, but he managed to navigate that absolutely perfectly. Round the final corner comes the Kick Sauber, powered by that lovely sounding Ferrari engine, I must say. And up to the line he comes, improves by 4 tenths and slots into P9, just behind Nanu and just ahead of McCubb. So he's in a Ferrari sandwich there. And we will go back to watching the Williams, who has invalidated once again. So Risbo needs to stop invalidating. He needs to get a time on the board. His teammate Kevin only in P12, so Williams want to hopefully get both cars inside the top 10. As I believe they did have a bit of a torrid time. I think it was in it was either tier 3 or tier 2. No, tier 4, tier 3. I should know. I was commentating that race. Can't exactly remember. Reggie, you take that back. Risbo used to be goated. Keyword used to be. As got spooked in the Haas. Goes up into P2. Still no one can match the provisional pole time of Elite Bleeder, as he was actually up by half a tenth. But he's opted to come into the pit lane, so this man is holding back. May not have seen the overall pace of this of the Alpine as of yet, as McCubb improves by just over a tenth, but I think he stays in P10. Does 15.000. Perfect. As Risbo's teammate Kevin on an outlap, he will be wanting to definitely improve on a 15.9. As washed behind has invalidated. Right, let me try and pronounce his name without absolutely butchering it. Nahir Basara. I hope I pronounced that okay. In the Aston Martin. He is on a lap. He has not set a time on the board, so we'll see what his first time of the session will give him, as he does have the Sauber of Wash just ahead of him, so he will get the benefit of the slipstream as he comes up to the line. As goes into third. Fantastic. What an opening lap that is for the Aston Martin, as he goes just ahead of Botti and just behind Got Spooked. But still, no one can match Elite Bleeder's pace, but it's not much to improve on for any of our guys that are really, well, Lufu only needs to improve by a little over a tenth, and he will be on provisional pole. As Emmanuel Tawia, yeah. Yes, he's navigating the final sector. Currently last, but he has not set a time on the board. As he rounds the final corner, opens the DRS. As red light flashing, so he has used all his available energy. And he goes into P5 on a 15.3. We have, wow, good amount of drivers all within a tenth of each other. This is fantastic to watch. Really looking forward to the race if this is how qualifying is going. As Yao is 4 milliseconds up on his personal best through that middle sector. As never mind, that was through the first sector, and he was 78 thousandths down on his current personal best of a 15.6. So Yao possibly might improve in the final sector. We'll keep an eye on him. As Shadow goes up into P9, just beating his teammate who we were just watching. So we'll actually, yeah, Yao round the as he curb hops that penultimate corner. As Botti goes onto a 14.9. Good lord. Okay, that is a lap and a half from the V-carb there. Well, let's have a look at him. Pink V-carb, absolutely slippery. And there we go, provisional pole for the Hungarian driver in the V-carb. Beats Elite Bleeder by 0.3 of a second. So Elite Bleeder will have to have a response, as Risbo is on the lap and he has not invalidated so far. So let's keep an eye on the man in the Williams, last season's winner. What can he do through the final sector? Breaks down into turn 11. Navigates that absolutely perfectly. Rumbles over the curb on the outside. Is it going to be flat round turn 12? I think it was. Into turn 13 goes the Williams. Now round the final corner of turn 14. Opens the DRS. Will it be provisional pole? Probably not. For the Williams. It's only P10 for Risbo. For the dreams of going back-to-back season 15 winner and maybe even season 16 winner, you never know. Maybe. You never know. There's a lot of the drivers now in the pit lane, waiting for the final runs to happen. Oh, excuse me. See if Risbo should probably have enough time to come into the pit lane, as he's going to do that. That's certainly one way of navigating the season 14 was? Oh, I thought it was last season. I know I did commentate on him winning one season. I can't remember if that was Maybe, I was wrong then. I guess it was probably season 14. Oops. Well, I know he's won in Australia. There we go. He's a previous winner around here. So there we go. I was gonna say that. Can I invite just Ali? If he can add me, yeah, I'm sure I can get him in. I don't think I have him added. Oh, Shifu's there. I couldn't find him earlier. That's fun. If you can get him to add me, then hopefully get him in. We only have 2 minutes left in the session, so. As the majority of cars on outlaps now, so they'll have the final runs of all of our very, very fast people coming your way very shortly. Everyone is under the into the 15s. I've only just noticed that. Wow. Let's have a look at the gap to leader. The whole grid separated by, if we're discounting washed, is separated by a second. With Kevin to Botti only being 9.69 tenths. That is insane. Absolutely insane. As, Nico in the other V-Carb decides that he wants to be the top pink V-Carb on the leaderboard and goes to provisional pole on a 14.911. Oof. As he dislodges Botti from the top spot. As, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. I don't know what I've just seen down the bottom of the screen. Anyway, let's ride on board with Elite Bleeder, the provisional pole man from earlier on in the session in the pink and blue Alpine. Man that put on that 15.2 on the session that we thought was an absolute scorching time, but has now been beaten by both the V-Carbs. Bleeder down by only a millisecond in that first sector, so he is pushing, but he needs to find a bit more time if he wants to eclipse these two V-Carbs that have put in scorching laps. Where are they both from? So we've got a Polish man and a Hungarian in the V-Carb, so good to know. As there's a car off there, that is one of the V-Carbs moving out of the way of the Alpine. That's what is the time going to be for Elite Bleeder as he's into turn 11. Navigates that perfectly. It's flat round here as he gets the car nicely rotated through there. As Burb, I think that is, yes, Burb improves by 2 tenths as Nahir goes up to P3. But we're going to keep an eye on Elite Bleeder as he's out the final corner, up to the line. What will the time be for him? He does improve, but it's only P4 for the Alpine, so he can't do better than the second row. As he's just been demoted by Lufu to the third row. As Lufu just goes ahead and beats him. As Gottspook comes home in P8 for now. Yao over the line goes on to a 15.4, does improve by a tiny amount. He is in P10. Risbo is improving, so can Risbo get higher than P11? Can he break into that top 10? Opens all the power he can on that Williams car. What will the time be for him as he goes into P9? He does get into the top 10. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is qualifying for Tier 2 here in Australia. We'll double check that cannot invite just Ali. I've not had a friend request or anything yet, so maybe challenging to get him in. But there we go. I believe it ended up a V-Carb 1-2, which is a fantastic result for them. I don't know who there is, who the team principal is, but they will be over the moon with that. There we see. He's shushing the grid and shushing his teammate as the Polish man beats the Hungarian with the V-Carbs on top. And that is your grid. As Panos Veras 19th. Round of applause. Absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal. He has to. I think I want to see. I want to see P6 for Panos. We'll have to wait and see. If he's not P6, then well, actually, what am I saying? P6, P16, more like. No. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I know, Chris. Just me. I know. Panos win incoming. Okay. So we've got a prediction for a Panos win. I feel like I'm more likely to die of a plane crash while I'm not on a plane. But you know, we'll see. So the pole time in Tier 2 was 14.9, and I'm back on comms later with my good friend GB Sanderson, so we'll see what Tier 1 can do. See if we've got mid-14. I'm sure the top 2. Panos top 5 for me. So I've got a few predictions coming in. People saying Panos win. Panos top 5. Balash or Borlas saying Panos, no way Panos will be top 5. Okay. Panos slander will be tolerated, just remember that. It's okay. Basara win, Rizbo podium, Sway DNF. Sway DNF. Yao P6, kill yourself. Panos spin lap 1. 16th or 17th, there we go. That sounds better. Oh, as we have the countdown, so we're going to get underway here for Tier 2. Round 1 will be underway shortly, and let's see what unfolds with the 2 V-Carbs starting from the front row. It's an all-pink front row. As here we go then. 5 lights on. Season 1. No, Season 6. What the fuck? Round 1 of Tier 2, Season 16 is underway with Botti getting the launch off the line, getting up the inside of his teammate TUS Nico as he runs a little bit wide, so a little bit argy-bargy, but it looks like they've got through all clean. As the V-Carbs staying out in first and second with behind. Nahir being challenged by Elite Bleed. Around the outside he goes. Can he get this move done? I think he might get it. Oh, it's a little bit tight. As down. Oh, Sway is spun. Sway and who is that? Got Spooked has gone round. So Got Spooked, who was up there, has had an incident as Sway has gone down and Panos has not even overtaken him. Insane. Anyway, let's get back up to the action. But there's a clean start from the top 2. A little bit of a pushing off for the 2 V-Cars, but they managed to keep P1 and 2 locked in for the moment. We'll get the tyres up actually. As the top 9 all on mediums with JSR Washed, who is opted for the hards, as well as George and Yao. These 2 are fighting as Yao has just been passed by George. So maybe not being able to fire those hards up just as of yet. As have I got my... I do not. As we start lap 2 of the race. As... Ooh. That's going to get some criticism in the chat, as Yao has decided that he is done for the day. As Rizbo has, I think he just dropped 2 positions to Nanu and Drop X. So Rizbo down to P12, just outside the points, but you can see the points just ahead of him with his teammate Kevin, who did decide to start on the hards, so Williams switching their strategies. As we'll go up to the front actually, as we might have a move incoming for Nico on the back of Botti. Right on board as we do have a bit of lag from the Polishman. He is Polish. He's the Polish one, isn't he? Yes. Alright, just double checking. Oh, that is something. That may be my connection maybe causing that, but Not much we can do about it here. Apart from watch and be scared when he goes for a move, but he's apparently in a wall. As flurries of fast slaps being set, as Nahir sets the fast slap with Nanu, who is, there he is, down in P10, sets the fast lap of the race for now, as Rizmo picks up the first 3 second time penalty of the race. As we're looking at front there, as Wash is challenging Burb, go on board with the Sauber, as Burb goes a little bit wide, going out of the, as he goes, oh, that was a little bit treacherous there, as Wash hit the wall, and unfortunately Burb just bounced into the side of him. And the Red Bull now with, is that whole front wing loss? Yes it is, so Burb suffering quite a lot from that unfortunately, and he is going to fall down to the back. And with that pit stop, he may even retire from the session, because that is heartbreaking. And the fact that no safety car is off. Something I forgot to mention. Yeah, safety car is off, so Burb will not be able to really recover that back unless everyone decides to slow down and wait for him, as Panos and Kevin are fighting. As Panos up into P15. Just behind his teammate now of Sway, so Kevin falling down a couple of positions as Drop X. Oh no, they're just passing. As Wash has come into the pit lane and retired, so as he was, yeah, he was involved in that incident with Burb, so as Burb also retires, so yeah, so we've already lost 3 cars and we're only on lap 4. But we will move on. As up at the front, we've got Nico still very close behind, under half a second behind his teammate. Well, gap extending now over to half a second. As he will close up here with the DRS. Too far to make a move into turn 9. But it's always a very, very risky place to make a move. Will he go for a move down into turn 11? He is closing. Will he send one to the inside? He thinks better of it as Sway picks up a 3 second time penalty. He is down in 14th as Panos has managed to get ahead of him. So Panos on the charge. Well, yeah, close enough. As Burb leaves the session, unfortunate for him, he was not helped by safety car. Definitely, well, yeah, unfortunate incident that he had with Washed. But we'll see him back next week. Round 2. Burb got 24 hours Daytona, so he said fuck this. That is valid. Honestly, that is a valid response. So we're riding aboard with Shadow in P7. Up at the front, here we go. As Bossy has lost position to Nico and now Nahir. So Bossy now goes from the lead to 3rd as, oh, he has a big slide coming out of turn 10. That was a great catch from the Hungarian. As he's now down to 3rd, watching now at Aston Martin split the 2 pink V-carbs. So it's the Swede, well, no, it's the Polish, the Swede, and the Hungarian. Our top 3 with Elite Bleeder, who I believe is British. Up the Ra. In P4 as, who is that going? Trying to break the slipstream is Nico. As, oh, is there an incident? As George Pados has gone round a bit quite late to be spinning out the final corner there. As, oh, he's lost his front wing too, and with just passing the pit lane, George may become our 4th retirement in the race, and it might be a double DNF. Well, it'll probably be a double non-point score for Kick Sauber, unfortunately. So whoever's Kick Sauber's team principal is punching the door. Oh my god, I thought he was about in the wall there. Pole was a 14.9. It was a V-carb 1-2 as well. Very fun. As riding aboard with Nahir as he's on the back of Botti. As no, it's not Bossy, as Bossy actually did pick up a time penalty there, so he may have just commentators cursed him. See from the back of the Aston Martin, that pink V-carb trying to get in his rear end. Oh no. That doesn't sound good. As who is that going very wide? I think that might have been... I don't know who that was. Must have been an Alpine. I think it was LeFou. As the two Alpines are doing very well in this race, they're currently running 4th and 5th. Just behind the two V-carbs with the Aston Martin splitting this little group we have. So, the two, a lot of pink and then there's a green filling. Aston here does have to lift off there, going around, what turn is that? That turn I don't know. As Risbo has managed to overtake Drop X, but he is now unfortunately not within DRS of Nanu. So the top 8 have managed to break away from Risbo, so Risbo may lose out here to drop in the other Aston Martin. Aston Martin in looking for double points as round the outside. Who is that? Panos Veras out of nowhere, and does push off the Aston Martin as that's a Ferrari out of nowhere as McCubb barges his way through on Panos as Panos barges his way through on Drop as they're going to go side by side through the final sector as Panos round the outside off turn 12. That was a fantastic move from the McLaren, must say. Yeah, Panos, lovely move from the Greek as he's now up into P10. So Panos may even be on for a top 6. It could happen. I don't think a Panos win might happen, but you know, top 6. You never know. Pick up the Panos. Actually, let's go run aboard with Panos, as he's got a very good friend of his, or arch nemesis. I have no idea what the relationship is between these two. I'm sure they have gay sex all the time, but you know, we don't judge. As we were talking about this actually, Nanu was with our top 8 group, which has now become top 7. As Nanu is now down and he's fighting with Risbo and Panos. So as here comes the McLaren, will he manage to get up the inside of the Williams? He does think about it, and as he hits off Risbo, and Risbo loses position to McCubb, and will the Aston Martin manage to get him as Drop X does think of the move. Unfortunately does hit the side of Risbo and did have a bit of a half spin there. Panos really going for the aggressive moves here, and into the pits comes one of our race leaders, Bossy, into the pit lane on lap 9. Go onto the hard tyres, which may even take him to the end of the race. He may have to, well, I know in Tier 4 we had someone very conserve their tyres. I think that might have been one of the McLarens. I can't remember his name. I think it was Adamako. They were a very long stint on the hard tyres, and he managed to go to the end. So it can be done around here. One stop I think is definitely possible. But out of the front, it's Nahir Basara versus TMS Nico for the race lead on lap 9. 20 laps to go in this race. As Panos has managed to get through on Nanu, as the two Ferraris are going to fight. And it looks like McCubb has managed to clear Nanu, but goes a little bit wide coming out of turn 10. Will it give an opportunity to the German? No, it will not. He's too far behind to take advantage, and with McCubb taking that DRS, then it is all over. But meanwhile, Panos, well, with Bossy pitting, is now up to P7. So Panos might be goated. I might just commentators cursed him, but it's all fun and games. Welcome into our 26 viewers. Lovely to have you all watching this glorious race with Panos providing. Although he's on the charge, I'm sure, yeah, one of them moves probably will be a penalty. probably the one on Risbo more than the one on the Aston Martin. So Pano's getting a race ban incoming. Love to see it. Cubs still about 7 tenths behind. These two on the hard tyres doing a lovely job. The Ferrari and the McLaren. Maybe working together here. As up at the front, Elite Bleeder has managed to get through on TMS Nico, so Elite Bleeder making up for lost time. And he's up into second place, which will, well, these guys need to be careful because they need to keep an eye on the fact that Botti has already pit onto the hard tyres, so will anyone respond? No one is coming in this lap, so as I just say that, as Lufu decided that he wants to pull the trigger and he wants to go for the undercut on his teammate and a couple of cars ahead of him. I assume it'd be a set of hards for the Alpine. As it will, the white ring tyres going on for Lufu. As Botti sets the fast lap of the race, so there you go, he's on a charge and he's showing that he has the pace to be leading this race. When everyone does come in, and I'm sure he will take the lead back from Nahir, and the pit stops do commence. But it's just whether or not who pulls the trigger, as we just saw Lufu in the box, so he wants to go for the undercut. Will anyone follow in this lap to cover off him? We'll have to wait and see. As Elite Bleeder 4.5 tenths behind the Aston Martin. Let's get rid of that. As the car's word. Slipperying. No, that's not a word. As Botti has managed to clear, got spooked, so he's up and now into P11. As Panos, has he overtaken? He's done it cleanly! He has done it cleanly, lads. As Panos up into P5. So Panos making a clean overtake once. And he's up into 5th place in that McLaren. So he's gone from last to 5th. Definitely helped by a few pit stops, as the other V car, the TMS Nico, has gone into the pit lane now. As Shadow gets 10 seconds penalty for being in the pit lane. That will very much hurt him. As Nico has now been well and truly overtaken by Botti, as there he goes into turn 1 and out of the pit lane now comes Nico, so he will be quite a few seconds behind. As he's even jumped by Lufu, so the undercut here is proven really powerful. As Nico does get a penalty actually, just coming out of the pit lane. So Nico and Botti actually both having pens, but look at the gap. Let's just have a look at this. Gap is almost 7 seconds between the V-Carbs, and we just saw earlier on in the race these two were separated by nothing. And that is the power of the undercut, ladies and gentlemen. Just pitting 3 laps earlier, Botti has managed to clear him by almost 7 seconds, so Botti doesn't have to deal with that lag anymore. Reggie, are you team principal of Mercedes? I don't know, maybe it's something to do with fuck this team or one of them's out. And the other one, I mean, Shadows. Oh, you got the penalty, didn't you? Never mind. As George picks up a 3-second time penalty, as Emmanuel Tawia in the Haas has come in for his pit stop. As Botti picks up another penalty actually, so that's 6 seconds for him. So he's got the DRS off somebody. It's been a car that just come into the pit lane. Maybe it was I don't know who that would have been, but that is not our primary concern. Out the front, Nahir staying out, so these two will unfortunately probably fall quite far behind our 3 that have already pit, that were part of this group: Botti, Lufu and Nico. So I think that will be our top 3 once these guys do pit. Well, everyone pits actually. Well, maybe Panos is staying out because he wants to lead a lap, as we have a yellow flag. Who is that round? That is George Pados in the Kick Sauber, spinning around on his mediums. Pallas predicting Pallas. Pallas? What's Pallas? Panos will win. You know, I think that would be very fun I will I will do some funny things if Panos wins this race. Meanwhile, Luffu sets the fast lap of the race. We have another yellow flag. George has gone off again, so he's really struggling, unfortunately. So Keck Sauber not having a great time here in Australia. I think we do need to keep an eye on progress of Botti. We'll go up to gap to leader, and look at it, it's only 7 seconds. So in fact, he was leading or close to leading, and he's pit. He's already gained that much time back, so Botti will come to be leading this race when the pit stops for the front four commence. As McCubb has managed to get around the outside of Panos Veras, so Ferrari managing to overtake the McLaren. As George does come into the lane and retire, so yeah, it wasn't going great for him. So probably a wise decision with safety car being off. Not much you can do, as our front two have decided that it's now they want to come into the pit lane. Yeah, we set hard tyres for the Aston Martin and the Williams. We can go on board with them. Elite Bleeder. As Nico sets the fast lap of the race, as he's now just behind Luffu. So we have a battle here commencing, which will be, I think, for second place with Botti, who will be the leader. Kevin. So it's people that have still stayed out on the hard tyres. McCubb in the Ferrari, Panos in the Williams. Kevin, and that is it actually. Kevin in the Williams. So these guys going longer. I'm sure in a few laps time they will come into the pit lane to put onto certain mediums to go to the end. Unfortunately, they are losing so much here for the guys that are on fresh mediums, but not fresh mediums, fresh hards. Excuse me. As Panos up into the lead of the race. That's the first time we can say that this season. Panos Veras is leading a race. Let's just let that sink in. Let that sink in. Panos Veras is leading a race. Right, enough of that bullshit. Cub's still about half a second behind, but behind him, Botti is under 2 seconds away from the Ferrari, so this V-Carb is looking ever so, I don't know why I've done that. My Twitch just crashed, oh no. Alright, there we go, we're still okay. Anyway, something must have happened to McCubb, as he has dropped 1.2 seconds to the McLaren, but here comes the V-Carb storming past with that DRS, as Kevin has just been passed by Nico and Luffu. Not much he can do with those guys as DRS assistants. As here we have, yeah, Nahir Basara. So the man that was leading the race with Elite Bleeder. As there we see Panos Veras, he did lead the race, so he's had his moment. And he's now onto the medium tyres, which will take him to the end, but he probably, well, if it's Panos, I know he's going to be going all out. But as you see the positions, they have come out in 13th and 14th, so got some work to do, and how aggressive Panos has been this race, I wouldn't put anything past him. So we've got one eye on everyone else and one eye on Panos Veras. Let's see what happens. Anyway, like we were saying, here Basara, the man that was leading the race, is, what's the gap to leader? 8 point something seconds. As there we see Nico, as my cat has just jumped on me. Hello. Can't you see I'm trying to do something? Do you want to be co-commentary? Why are you licking my hand? Oh, ow, you stepped on my penis. Fucking hell. Oh, you're so heavy. Jesus. Ah. God. Damn. Wait, like a ton. Right. Stop getting distracted by pussy. As Kevin in the Williams, as he locks the rears there, going sideways in there. I cannot see the chat because you're sat on my phone. Oh, you just closed Twitch. You fucking bitch. Oh my god, I'm trying to read chat. You're sat on my phone. Alright guys, I'm sorry I cannot read chat because my cat is sat on my phone. So, yeah. Oh. Jesus. It's because it's warm, isn't it? Because it's on charge. The phone's warm. Yeah, it's staring at me now. Cool. Anyway, we're getting distracted by the cat. We're going to move on. Maybe the cat will make a surprise appearance. We are keeping an eye on the Alpine of Le Fou. Behind Emmanuel Tawea getting past Shadow, who does have, let's actually have a look at that for the first time in the race. 13 seconds worth of penalties, so he's going to look round the outside of the Haas into turn 11 as they're getting locked on the side there, as there's quite a bit of contact there between those guys, as it's 2x2, Elite Bleeder with Nanu going side by side, and we got some action here, as this is the fight for 5th place, as the two ahead of us are going side by side there. That was fantastic racing, as Bossy has come into the pit lane. What has happened? Hang on. Bossy into the pit lane again. Man that was leading this race and we thought was going to be on for a comfortable victory. Well, hang on a minute. 12 seconds of penalty, so Bossy has really been struggling with his track limits today. But he's now down to 14th on a fresh set of hards. So at the moment, our race winner, or race leader, is Le Fou. So, could be on for Oz. Le Fou has a huge slide going through turn 10. So yeah, that's a huge piece of drama in this race as Elite Bleeder around the outside of the Mercedes, and the Mercedes gets a switchback on him out of turn 10. That is fantastic racing as we're going almost too wide into turn 12, turn 11 even, as there's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the Mercedes and the Alpine, but it looks like the Alpine is staying ahead for the most part. But look at this little train we have here. This is the train from 5th all the way down to what is almost last, as we have out Aston Martin emerging from the runoff. So as I've been clipped. Oh god, Ollie's cat. Oh god, right, that's gonna be, yeah, that's fun. I don't even mind that because that was just kind of, that's funny as shit. Anyway, let's get back to the racing action. We have 9 laps remaining in this race, as there's a car going off, as Emmanuel Sawaya has gone off, and he's letting everyone go through. So has he got damage or something? What's happened to the Haas? His front wing looks to be absolutely fine. He is missing a little bit on his right hand side. What's gone on to the Haas? Letting people go through, and man that was fighting for 5th is now last. I am confused there, what's going on there. As we completely missed it, but Le Fou has got a 3-second time penalty. Just double check the penalties here. Both on 3 seconds are our top 2, with Nahir on 0. So Nahir may even take the win if he can get within 3 seconds and stay there. And one man without penalties, but is quite far behind our top 4, is Panos Veras. So Panos may even take a top 6 here on merit from last place. So it could be a generational drive from the Greek. It's yet to be decided if he can finish where he is currently, which is inside our top 6. So I predicted Panos top 6. Drinks are on you. As we saw there, the Haas of Emmanuel Tawaya deciding that he is done for the day after fighting for 5th, put up a valiant effort, going side by side with this man that we are currently watching, Shadow. But unfortunately, he decided that he doesn't want to do this no more. And he is out of the race. Becomes our 5th fifth retirement of the race as McCubb and who was that? I think that was Bossy actually passing Nanu. Yes, it is. So Bossy is now already up into P7 after just pitting. All that fresh set hard. So yeah, as Shadow has gone out of the race. What happened to him? What's happened to Shadow? Oh, as always, he's off there in the runoff. As Shadow, just as we were talking about him, becomes our 6th retirement, and both Mercedes, as Reggie in the chat looking, has just fell to his knees. He knows it's over. Someone check on this man. Out at the front, fight for the win is heating up as Panos Veras gets up past Elite Bleeder, and Elite Bleeder actually, yeah, he's fallen down a huge amount of time. Panos Veras, if he can gain 9 seconds, you never know. We might have a Panos win on the cars, but it's looking ever so unlikely now. But you never know. Maybe even a Panos podium. Our top 3 all come together. Panos is in the hot seat to win this race, which is insane. The fact he started 19th. As we said that, Elite Bleeder has managed to pass him as my game chat is on. There we go. So then, we have started lap 23 of this Tier 2, Round 1 Season 16 race here in Australia. I think it's been quite an exciting race actually. I personally enjoyed commentating this. As there is a yellow, as Bossy is retired! Bossy has retired and he's gone off into the wall! There you see the VR out of the race! Oh no! It was all going so well. Well, it wasn't. Apart from the penalties, it was all going fantastically for the Hungarian, but it'll be no points for him. But meanwhile, up at the front, there goes Lufu, makes the move for the race lead on TMS Nico, and he is now up into the lead of the race. But Nico, will he have the DRS? No, he will not. So the Alpine has that DRS assistance, but as it stands, Isu need to maybe even start trying to pull away from this man who's on fresher tyres than the 2 ahead of him and looking ever so better that he might even win this race with no penalties to his name. This could be it for Nahir Basara. I don't know if he has any wins. Someone can find that out for me. That would be fantastic. But the Swede in the Aston Martin is on for victory here in Australia, but we have to wait and see. He might even have, you know, let's go be nosy. Let's go have a look at his warnings. Only one. As Nico has a huge slide and loses. Wow, I'm so annoyed we missed that. Well, we kind of caught it, but he caught it. That's for sure. Oh my word, that was a brilliant save from the Polish man. Pole? Yeah, the pole. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful save from him. Keeps it out of the wall and keeps it away from the race-ending collision. As here comes the Aston Martin. See him gaining. If he goes to the middle of the road, tries to even scare Basara to making a mistake, locking up, going just wide. Because he knows, and he will know this feeling right now, if he knows that where he's finishing right now will not equal where he finishes on that timing page. Same with Nico, but I think he'll be safe to Elite Bleeder. Obviously, it's only 3 seconds, but the fight for 4th is still on between the hard runner and Panos Veras on the mediums. So We've got a couple of fights here, and the two Ferraris fighting for P6. But McCubb having no penalties, it looks like it will go to, where's McCubb from? McCubb is Scotland. McCubb is Scottish. Never knew that. Well, we know it now. So it's the German versus the Scottish. It is the Brit versus the Greek. And up at the front, it is the... Oh god, where's LeFou from? Oh fuck. Huh. I'm glad I didn't do geology, because I have... Geology? What the fuck? Anyway, Nahir Basara in the Aston Martin. We know where he's from. He's Swedish. Is it Norwegian? It's Norwegian or Icelandic. I get those two mixed up. Norwegian. It is Norwegian. Okay. So the Norwegian being passed by the Swede, and the Pole watching these two battle. He'll hope that they take each other out, and that he can cruise on to victory as we are coming round the final corner to start lap 26. Be only 4 laps, well, 3 laps remaining, including our final lap. And here Basara just needs to keep it cool. Well, even if he does get a warning, he just needs to keep it on ahead of these guys. He does have fresher tyres than LeFou, as Panos Veras does pick up a penalty, so at the moment it will be Elite Bleeder taking home P4 in this race. It'll still be a fantastic result for a man that isn't even supposed to be in this tier. Is he a reserve? I think he might be reserving as... Oh, he has a slide there. A few drivers getting caught out by that corner. Huge snaps of oversteer. Thankfully keeping it on the road. Panos cannot get a move done there going into turn 9. You have to be very, very fully alongside and ahead if you want to go for a move into turn 9. Some very, very fast corner as Drop X has retired. As Sway is approaching where his car is, so I think he might have been a retirement on track. As you can see his car off in the runoff there, so yeah. We have had 8 retirements now in this race, so... And the Aston Martin becomes another one of them. So it'll be only one Aston Martin scoring points. The only team, well, the few teams scoring double points will be Alpine, maybe McLaren. It might be a bit tough. With Williams, Ferrari and Alpine. 3 teams scoring double points here today. With Risbo and Kevin, Nano and Cub, and Elite Bleeder and LeFou doing a fantastic job for their respective teams. As out of the front, Nahir has really stretched his legs and he's gained 1.5 seconds. So, yes, Aston Martin doing a wonderful job as Sway sets his fastest lap of the race. It was 17.3. He's showing off what pace he has in that McLaren, but unfortunately so far behind that it won't mean anything. As Panos into the braking zone to turn 11, gains so much on Elite Bleeder, so he's got the pace, has Panos, but unfortunately has a penalty, so it won't mean anything if he does get ahead of him, but he's probably doing it for pride. As we started the penultimate lap of our round 1 race here in Australia, it's the top 3 currently: Nahir Basara, LeFou, Nico, rounding out our podium. These two both having penalties, it generally is a fight for who can finish second. The win is off the table now as LeFou goes very wide, as we're looking at the wrong interval. Yeah, they're both have 3 seconds. As Nico thinking of a move going through into the George Russell corner. Riding on board with the Alpine, looking back, seeing that pink V-card closing into turn 9 goes LeFou. Swings it through turn 10. We don't know the warning situation between any of these two here, but the gap up ahead now is 3 seconds, so Nahir is cruising to victory here as he's about to start his final lap of the race. And a race that has been, well, fantastically controlled by him since he took the lead here. Oh, as Lufu hits the wall, going out the final corner, will compromise his exit. So, but this is the fight for second place here. We will keep an eye on this, as well as looking at the gap to from Panos to League Leader, which is only half a second, but with Panos' penalty, probably won't mean anything. As the pole getting very close there, as we go through turn 4. As Lufu with the light flashing, so he's probably regenning, harvesting energy, waiting for that back straight to use it all to try and keep second place here. As Nico goes a little bit wide there out of the exit, as compromises run his gap opening up to half a second. This is all the power and the DRS of that Honda engine to gain the time, and he is gaining. So will it be a dive? It's turn 11 for the pole. Let's find out. As over turn 10 he goes. This is his last opportunity going for a move on Lufu. Will he send one? A little bit too far behind. As Lufu has a huge slide, but he manages to catch it, and it looks like he's going to stay ahead, but will go up to the front to this man in the Aston Martin, Nahir Basara, the Swede. In round 1 is going to take home the victory. Fantastic job for him. Out of the final corner. The fight for second place is over. It's going to be Lufu who takes P2 ahead of TMS Nico even. And it's going to be Panos Veras crashing over the line and destroying his car from last to 5th. What a drive from the Greek. And it's going to be a... I'm not saying that. You can see what positions they are. Ferrari's finishing there. And it's going to be a Williams 8th and 9th position with Got Spooked in the Haas taking home 1 point for them. And the last man that finishes, the only man that didn't finish in the points today, is Sway. So unlucky for Sway as he goes over the line. Now. And there we go. That is the race. We're done. We are finished. That is that. Very... What the fuck? As Sway is in the garage. Alright. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your race. Tier 2, round 1, finished. And what a race it was. Panos Veras going from 5th. Well, no, 19th to 5th. That was a generational drive. Get him in Tier 1. And you think I'm joking? This man needs to be in Tier 1 right now. As we don't give a shit about the podium stuff. As there is the statistics that we don't really care. And there you go. Nahir Basara in the Aston Martin taking round 1 here in Australia. It is a Scandinavian 1-2 with the Polish man in 3rd position, dropping down from pole to 3rd. But at least he's in DNF, like his teammate Botti, who we saw had a torrid time after he come into the pits again. So it'll be Elite Bleeder in 4th. Panos Veras will probably be my driver of the day. There's the Ferraris in 6th and 7th. Williams 8th and 9th. And who was 10th? Got Spooked. Got Spooked in 10th in the Haas, and then Sway in the McLaren was P11. So that was that. Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, thank you all for watching. I'll be back again later. It'll be an 8 o'clock start for where we will be racing for Tier 1. And it'll be me on the co-commentary this time with the main man, GB Sanderson, alongside me. So, hope to see as many of you guys there. And I'll catch you all later. Bye, guys.